While the world's attention has been locked on stadiums in Los Angeles, Houston, and Seattle, while Messi breaks records and Iran fights border crossings and Ronaldo silences his critics, something happened in a small South Asian nation that most football fans will not have seen coming. FIFA suspended Nepal, the entire country, every national team, every club side, every football official, banned from international competition, cut off from FIFA funding, and barred from any activity with any other FIFA member nation. Effective immediately, until further notice. And the most remarkable part of this story is not what FIFA did. It is how Nepal's own government made it happen. This is one of the most fundamental rules in world football, and it has been this way for decades. When you join FIFA, you agree to one non-negotiable condition above almost everything else. Your football federation must be independent. The government does not get to run it. Courts do not get to overturn its elections. Politicians do not get to suspend its officials. The federation operates under FIFA statutes, not domestic law. That is the deal. That has always been the deal. FIFA statutes Article 14 states that every member association must manage its affairs independently and ensure that their own affairs are not influenced by any third parties in accordance with Article 19. The language could not be clearer. Independence. No undue influence. From anyone, including the government of the country the federation is based in. The reason FIFA is so rigid on this is because without it, the entire structure of world football falls apart. Governments could appoint favorable officials. Courts could reverse elections they disagreed with. Politicians could control national team selection. The sport would stop being a sport and start being an extension of whoever happened to be in power. FIFA has seen this happen. They have suspended nations before. Zimbabwe, Kenya, Pakistan, Chad, Mali, all at various points were removed from international football because their governments interfered with their federation's independence. Every time, the message was the same. Fix it. Give the federation back its autonomy. Or stay out. Nepal ignored that message for 6 months. And now they are paying the price. Here is how it actually unfolded, because the sequence of events is almost absurd in how preventable the whole thing was. Nepal's Football Federation, the All Nepal Football Association, or ANFA, decided to hold their executive committee elections early. Their sitting committee's term was due to expire in June 2026, but ANFA's leadership wanted to move the elections forward to February, specifically to install a fresh mandate before World Cup qualifying intensified. FIFA and the Asian Football Confederation reviewed the plan. In January 2026, FIFA and AFC sent a joint letter confirming that ANFA's early election was fully in line with ANFA statutes and raised no governance concerns. International approval. A clear green light. The election was scheduled for March 27th in Joppa. Then Nepal's National Sports Council, the government's apex sports body, decided it disagreed. The NSC suspended ANFA's entire executive committee for 3 months on March 25, 2026, just 2 days before the election was due to take place. Their argument was that ANFA was not compliant with Nepal's National Sports Development Act, that the election had not been properly approved under domestic law, that district associations needed to hold their own elections first. The NSC blocked the vote, suspended the officials, and essentially shut ANFA down. And ANFA's response was essentially, "You cannot do that, because FIFA says you cannot do that." They were both right. Except that being right and being protected are not the same thing when a government body has already suspended your entire committee and locked you out of your own offices. FIFA and the AFC were not silent. They were, in fact, extremely loud and extremely patient for an organization that had every right to act immediately. FIFA labeled the NSC's decision a clear case of undue third-party interference and gave the government 7 days to withdraw the suspension and allow elections to proceed. They warned that failure to comply would see the FIFA Council submit the matter for ANFA's immediate suspension. 7 days. The government did not comply. FIFA issued another deadline. May 4th. They sent a letter stating that meaningful dialogue with Nepali authorities could only take place after the NSC withdrew its decision and ANFA's autonomy was restored. May 4th came. The NSC held another meeting. They made vague sounds about cooperation. And then, in a brief moment of what appeared to be genuine progress, Nepal's Ministry of Youth and Sports revoked the NSE's suspension in a ministerial-level decision in mid-May. The crisis, for a few weeks, appeared to be over. The suspension can only be lifted when the interference ends and FIFA's conditions are satisfied. There is a particular cruelty to the timing, even if the timing was inevitable. Nepal is not at the World Cup. They never were. But this suspension effectively ends any realistic chance of them participating in the next cycle of qualifications unless it is resolved quickly. Their development funding from FIFA, which pays for coaching programs, infrastructure, youth development, is frozen. Every friendly, every qualifier, every tournament, gone. Not temporarily delayed. Gone, until the government of Nepal decides to stop doing the thing that FIFA spent 6 months warning them not to do. ANFA's president and general secretary were stopped at Tribhuvan International Airport in Kathmandu when they tried to travel to Mexico to attend World Cup opening events. They were on a government travel ban list linked to an ongoing financial investigation. The people running Nepali football could not even leave the country to watch the tournament their federation is a member of. There is a pattern here that goes beyond Nepal. FIFA has suspended nations before and will suspend them again. The rule against government interference is not arbitrary. It is the bedrock that allows 211 member associations to operate across wildly different political systems without becoming extensions of the state. Without it, football would look very different in countries where governments are less than stable, less than democratic, less than interested in the sport for its own sake. But the pattern also reveals something uncomfortable about how FIFA applies its power. The same organization that cannot stop a government from kicking a World Cup team out of the country every match night, that defers to the White House on Iran's travel, that watched a Somali referee get turned away at Miami airport and said its hands were tied, moves with immediate and comprehensive force when a member association's internal independence is threatened by its own government. FIFA is powerful when it chooses to be. The question the Nepal story raises, quietly, without anyone in the big stadiums noticing, is why that power is not applied with the same consistency across every situation where football people are being treated unfairly. For now, though, Nepal waits. A nation's football community paying the price for a dispute between two institutions that both, in their own way, believe they were right. The World Cup plays on. The goals keep coming. And in Kathmandu, the pitches are quiet. Subscribe for World Cup coverage that does not just follow the stadiums. Sometimes the biggest story is happening somewhere nobody is looking.